morning from Cumberland, Maryland. This is our Maryland race, and it is probably one of the chilliest races to start. It is cold, but we are super excited to be in Maryland. Dave and I have never been to Maryland with the exception of Baltimore, the airport, a connecting flight there. And so we're super excited. The name of the race is the Narrow Way. And it's named that for two reasons. One is the biblical reason, the narrow path and the wide path. And the second reason is we'll be running in an area called the Narrows, which is on the Allegheny Passage Trail. So very historic. The town has a lot of history embedded in it. So we're super excited to look at it later after the race. And so Dave will show you behind where there's a little like river kind of pond behind us.
Yeah.
You'll see that. It's a really pretty area.
There's a lot of water. It's a canal area that they built around
this beautiful place called
really cool. And then really cool. And then behind us, direct sunlight, but
get your head off.
We'll show you that here in a second. So yeah, we're down in Maryland. We drove down here last night. Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the path and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many enter through it, which is,
We crossed the Mason-Dixon line, which is kind of cool, right in the middle of like our drive in the dark.
Mason-Dixon line?
There's this little sign. Cool. It says Mason-Dixon line, so that was pretty cool. I've never passed that.
We've never seen that. Fellowship of Christian Athletes is putting this on with
97.1?
Reveal FM 97.1 down here. They had Christian rap music on, which was pretty cool, like just a minute ago.
And the standard eye.
I'm pledging my allegiance, reading the book of Ephesians.
And the standard eye of the tiger.
Yeah, and then Eye of the Tiger, of course, right? Rocky. All right, more to come. It is 32 degrees. I don't know if you can see my breath on.
No.
It's super cold, man. Like, we got multiple layers on, and Tam's gonna look for another shirt to stay warm on this one. Yee! But we're pretty early, and we're gonna start running here. We're gonna rip off our 5K in Maryland.
Number 16.
State number 16.
Wants to see the world transformed by Jesus Christ through the influence of coaches and athletes. And so we do this race as a fundraiser to raise funds for camp scholarships so that our students can go to life-changing camps.
Amen.
Thank you so much.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks, Angie.
Thank you.
Hey, this was a great race. We just finished a little while ago and got some waters and everything. We went out around this big loop behind us. It was pretty neat. You run through town under some bridges, and then you cross a railroad track and immediately get on an old wooden bridge. And then as soon as the wooden bridge ends, you run next to a river for a long time out for the majority of the race. We went out kind of like to the very edge of their town. There's a turnaround. You came back the same way. And I don't know, a couple hundred people here maybe.
It
170, something like that.
It was beautiful scenery. I mean,
it was really pretty.
It was incredible. It's still fall, so the leaves are still changing here and falling. It was just really great. What a great race. Organized, awesome, and what great sponsors for this.
Yeah, and the 10Kers are finishing right now behind us. They're at They're about 42 minutes. They're coming
Yeah.
in. I think the winner just crossed.
Awesome. Good
So,
for him.
yeah, he looks tired.
Yeah.
So we're gonna explore the town, see some pictures, couple more videos, and Maryland, number 16.
This lovely lady, Cindy, and she said that she hikes and bikes and walks on the trail, so I wanted to have her tell you a little more about the trail.
So this is the marker from canal. This is the canal where the canal starts going to DC, Washington DC, and it's the canal, C&O Canal, and that's where you get that little boat over there. And then you get on here and you go the Allegheny Passage to Pittsburgh. So you can go from here to Pittsburgh and here to DC, and this is the center.
Wow, that's awesome. And it's called the Allegheny Passage Trail.
That's the Allegheny Passage Trail. If you go, when we just went up,
Okay.
but if you go that way, that's the C&O Canal.
Wow. C&O.
And they used the canal in the 1800s with the mules to bring up goods from DC. So actually, when we went and biked to DC, we stayed in a lock house on the canal.
Really?
Yes, there's like 8 lock houses that they rent out on the canal.
Really? How awesome is that?
Very nice. So the 0 mile marker is in DC.
Oh, is it? Awesome. Thank you, Cindy.
Oh, you're
Great
welcome.
to meet you.
Look at the size of this leaf, like Jurassic size leaves here. So this was really funny. Our hotel is right here. We're in the parking lot. We took off to go to the race this morning and we're like out. We're like, put it in the navigator. Like, you know, you got 10 minutes to get there, pick up your packets, put your number on, right? Like, it's freezing cold. It's like 32 degrees this morning. Breath, you know, really cold. So we're out driving around, doing U-turns. We're like, how do we get to this place? Because there's some one-way streets around here. So so once we get done driving around and parked kind of over there, we're like, man, it's really close to the hotel. Not only is it close, so the race was right there.
Right here.
And that path right there, like 15 feet off of our hotel parking lot, was where we ran. So we're out driving around trying to find the start line, and it's 15 feet away.
There it is.
It was pretty funny.
Here is the monster cinnamon roll. Sugary filled dough with just pure happiness.
Hey, we're walking downtown in Cumberland, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about the history here. So this is a very historic town, and if you know your history, this is where the Cumberland Gap is. George Washington visited here in 1897, I believe, or 1874. I'm gonna look that up and check it later. Tammy will put it on the screen. But anyway, George Washington was here to squelch the Whiskey Rebellion when, you know, they were bootlegging and everything around in these parts. But, you know, this is the passage where people went from the whole East Coast through here because the mountains are so hard to traverse. They went through this this area to get out west. So, you know, you go west, young man, westward expansion, all that kind of stuff. So, so these historic sites, we're gonna go check them out. We're going to Washington Street, that's named after George Washington when he was here. And, you know, you see the streets that are really narrow, tight, kind of if you think of like maybe what a Boston would look like or 200 years ago, really tight corridors. Cumberland, there's a style to the houses.
But yeah, everything here is Cumberland, Potomac, Washington, a lot of history, really fun.
This is the middle of the mural, and then as you walk down, it extends very far into into the street. He's scared of the bear.
Okay, so a little bit of history here in the area. Here's a distillery in the mural as we walk down. We're further down the mural. We're gonna keep going. So think Prohibition, distilleries. You know, here's a lady dressed up, and then you got, you know, really original old cars. This looks like, you know, the 19 teens and 20s. You're getting into the 20s. So this is the, you know, roaring 20s style, all that kind of stuff. And then as you go further into the 40s and 50s here, you got a girl on a scooter. And back there, they went through, you know, Industrial Revolution, Second Industrial Revolution, trains, you know, cranes, building of bridges. And then you got a car here that looks like it's a, you know, 50s or something like that. And that's the end of the mural. But really, really cool history around here.
I'm standing in front of George Washington's headquarters during the Indian-American War. Check. Oh, good.
George Washington
Headquarters.
cabin.
You can come, if you come closer, you can see his bust through the window.
His bust. Yeah, it's got a plaque.
Oh, it is French and Indian War.
Headquarters of George Washington during the French and Indian Wars. And look at this. If you look in through the glass, hey, there he is.
Oh, there's
Look at
his
that.
bed.
And he's got like a bed. He's got the American flag and like a territory map inside of this little tiny cabin with wood floors. I think he's considered one of the greatest presidents.
Yeah,
Like,
I think he is too.
I think he's the second greatest after the 16th president,
You mean Ronald
Mr. Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, Reagan is up there pretty far also. Best president in my lifetime.
So, can you span over there, honey? So
Yep.
If you cross over that blue bridge behind you, you are then in West Virginia.
Yeah, so-
you cross over the Potomac River.
Yeah, that bridge is over the Potomac River. Super famous, right? East Coast, all kinds of Civil War, all kinds of stuff.
This doesn't relate to George Washington, but I was reading today about Cumberland and all the trails around here. And they have a fruit called the pawpaw fruit on some of these trails. Facts for Cumberland.
It's a good fun
Maryland.
fact.